Hello, my name is NG and welcome to my fourth tutorial on Java for complete beginners. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you about the different types of data we have in Java. So let's create a new Java project and give your project a name 004 because this is my fourth tutorial, and click finished. Now right click on your project and go to the new and let's create a new class with main method. Now let me call this one box. You can call yours any name you like, it's allowed. Now make sure you click on this one so that Eclipse will automatically generate a main method for us. Now if you remember in the tutorial on let's get rid of this comment on variable, I use analogy of how to store your shoes, your clothes inside a box. Now a data type is like, let's say in your house you have a box where you store your shoe and you have a box where you store your clothes, likewise a box where you store your books. Now data type works in the same manner. Let's say you have a data that stores a particular type of information, and also you have another data or another variable that stores another kind of, also a different kind of information. That is just how a data works in Java. The best way to explain this is just to show you the code. Now in Java we have two main type of data type. We have the primitive data type and the non-primitive data type. So in this tutorial we're going to just look at the primitive data type. Now you might want to ask, what is the primitive data type? The primitive data types are those data types that are already predefined by the Java language, and the first one which we'll look at is the bytes. Now there is a particular type of data called bytes. Now this is 18 bits, and this byte can hold data from, let's say, from -1 to 8 to +1 to 7. That's just the range, the range of data it can hold. Let me just show you so that you understand. Now I have a data called byte. Let me give this type of data, let me give it a name, and I'll call it my byte, and let me assign a value to this thing, and let's output this data using system.out.println, then open a bracket, then put in the name of the variable you have declared. In this case it is my byte, and end this statement with a semicolon, and let's run this statement. Right click here and run as Java application, or you can click on this button. Now as you can see in the console, 7 has been outputted. Now this variable here is of the type byte, and this variable of the type byte, it has a maximum amount of data it can hold, just like your box. Your box can get filled up and it will not have any more space for you to put your stuff inside. Now this byte has its limit. It can hold from the maximum data, or the maximum bit this thing can hold is 8 bits, and the range is let's just put in 127. This is just the maximum value this thing can hold. Let's just run it. 27. Now then, if I try to add another more value to make it 28, it's going to show error. Why? Because this byte cannot hold more than 128 value, or whatever you want to call these things. The maximum it can hold is 127. That is the maximum it can hold. Then this thing, the minimum value it can hold is minus, let's say minus it. If you click in, let's run this one, and it's gonna output minus 127. Now the minimum is minus 128. This is just the minimum value it can hold. If I try to add something here again, to add another additional value, it will show error because the range is from minus 1 to 8 to plus 1 to 7. That is just so on your own. You can check out the range this thing can hold. It can hold. So let's just alter this thing here, and let me make it, let me just put the maximum here. So let's run this one, and 127. So this is the first data type under primitive data type. Like I said, we have two type of major type of data: primitive and non-primitive. Then under primitive data type, there is a type of data which is under integer. All this thing is still under integer, but don't worry yourself about that. The only thing you need to know is that we have two main type of data type in Java: the primitive and the non-primitive for now. So this is the first data, this is the data type, and this is the name, the variable name, that is the place where this data is going to reside in the system memory, and this is the value I've assigned to it. Now let me introduce you to another data type. Now there's also another data type in Java which is called short. Let me call it my short, and let me set this equals to, let's just give it a number, 66. Now this thing is 8-bit data type. It is twice this one. It is bigger than this one, so this one can hold more value than this one. Let me try and output this thing 6 out. Then press Ctrl space. Eclipse will help you and complete. Let's type in my short, and let's run this thing here. 65 has been outputted. That is the second data type that I've written. Now this one is a 16-bit data type, and the maximum, it has its range. It has a maximum value it can hold. So on your own, you can just check out the maximum range it can hold. So we also have another one which is the int. You must have seen this one before. Let me call it my int, and let me assign a value int, and let's print out this one, 6 out, Ctrl space, my int. Always end your statement with semicolon. So this is a third one of the type int, and this one can hold more value than this one. This box can hold more value than this one. This box also can hold more value than this one. So that is why this one is 8-bit and this one is 16-bit, while this one is 32-bit. So this one can hold more, can contain more value than this one. Then there is also another one that is long. It is called the long, and let me call it my long, and let me assign a value to it, and I forgot to put equal sign, which is the assignment value. Let me try and put number here, unless I'll put this thing sys out, control space, my long, and let's print this guy out, my long. So this is the fourth data type. Now all these bytes, the short and the int, are under the numerical value. There is still another one, but just know that these things are under numerical value. These are just, this type of data can only hold numerical value, but the only difference is that this one can hold more data than this one, this one can hold more data than this one, this one can hold more data than this one. This one is a 64 bit, while this one is 32 bit, this one is 16 bit, and this one is 8 bit. Now there is also another set of data type which is called the floating type. Now if you want a box, or you want to have a variable that can hold a decimal number, all these things can only hold whole number, it cannot hold fraction. If I try to put point here, it's going to show error, because it can only hold whole number, no fraction is allowed. So all these ones can only hold whole number. Now what of if you want a variable that can hold a variable that can hold a floating point number, or a decimal, a number with a value with decimal rather. Use floats. Now the first one is called float. Let me call it my float, and let me assign a value 55.0. then you put f at the end of the statement. Now this type of data that I called my float can hold decimal value with decimal. That is, they call it I've forgotten whatever they call it, but in your mathematics class they must have taught you about whole number and fraction. So this thing can hold fraction. Now this one is of 32 bits, so it has the limit of decimal number it can hold. There's another one that is bigger than this one, and that one is called double. So let me call it my double, and let me assign to it. Now the difference between this one and this one is that this one is 32 bit and this one is 64 bit. Now this box can contain, it has more precision. Let me use that word precision, meaning what these things means that, let's say if this guy can take if it can take, let's say, 3 digits after decimal, that means this one will take double of whatever value after decimal this guy can take. So in your own, you can check the range, the more precision. If you want more precision, you can use this. So these are the 6 numerical data type we have. There is also another one, a special one that is called the char, and let me call it my char, and let me assign a value here. Now this one is a Unicode character. It can hold all the code character in your keyboard. Any character you want to type here, you can type any crazy character you like, it can hold. It's just any character at all. That's why they call it Unicode. So it can hold all kinds of data. Now we have the another one also, which is also the last one, which is called the Boolean. Now let me call it bool, and this one can hold just two type of value. It can only hold a true, or let me declare another Boolean here, and let me call it bool2, and let me assign false. So this Boolean can only hold a true value or a false value. So these are just the 8 data type under primitive data type we have in Java. So, and also you can output all these things if you want. Let me put my float. Let me put my float. Let's run this one. It has printed a floating point. So let me leave the rest as exercise for you. So on your own you can also output all this one. So these are just basically the 8 characters, the 8 data types, sorry, we have in Java. So that's it for this tutorial. See you in the next tutorial.